Yeah, buddy. This is Remy live in HD, and we have come to the last installment of this vlog series, this particular vlog series. And today, before I get into that, I want to, definitely ask you guys to like, subscribe, hit the bell for future notifications and all that good stuff. I want to touch on the real good subject today. And this subject is entitled Forgiveness. Forgiveness. What is forgiveness? Forgiveness is one of the most powerful things a human can do. It's to give another a clean slate. Give another a second chance. Give another something that they may not deserve. Wipe the slate clean for someone else that has wronged you, that has done you wrong, that has violated you, that has used you, that has abused you, that's had ill will towards you, that hasn't wanted to see you prosper. Has wanted to see you fail. And contrary to popular opinion, forgiveness or offering forgiveness, it does not make you less than. It doesn't make you less than the person. It doesn't make you weaker than the person. It actually makes you stronger. Because forgiveness is a God thing. It's a God move. That's why the ego really doesn't understand it. Well, they did this, they did that. People don't understand the purpose of forgiveness. When you forgive a person, you're not only giving them a clean slate, you're giving yourself a clean slate. Because if you harbor unforgiveness for people, it actually damages you on the inside. It damages you in the mind. And it prohibits you from being the best you can be. We don't need to carry no weight of nobody where we're going. So we need to be as free as we can in our minds, in our spirits, and in our hearts. Because we have so much more than the person or the people that hurt us to give to the world. We have so much more in us to provide. But if we're harboring that, we develop a cancer inside of us. We develop a blockage inside of us. Physically, stress-wise, emotional-wise, and spiritually. That's why the relationship with God is so important, because the moves that He makes, He wants us to make them as well. Because all of us have not played by the book our entire walk. Some of us have wronged people, whether knowingly or unknowingly. A lot of people are harboring unforgiveness towards us. We may know about it, we may not know about it, we might not care about it. But when you forgive, not only do you take your power back that you gave to that person, you free your power up to give to others. Because you can't give others what you don't have. And you free the power up of God to work on our behalf. Because He said, Don't expect forgiveness of me if you don't forgive. Don't expect me to do anything for you. That's why God assists us. Because he wants us to realize how much like him we are. He wants us to realize that. And the more we operate like him, the more we'll get the results like him. The more mature we are, and the more in tune with him we are and his ways, the more we can dominate here. Forgiveness is a freeing thing. It's a freeing thing, and we need to practice it. Some of the first people we need to forgive is our family members, the people that are close to us, because a lot of times people can't hurt you unless they're close to you in the first place. We need to forgive them. And a lot of people know, some don't know, how damaging harboring unforgiveness can affect you in your life, in your future life with other people. It can affect how you look at people. It'll affect how you judge people. That's why we need to be free, because we want to make sound choices in our future. We want to create a new day every day. We don't want to carry negative vibes and negative energy into our new relationships. By holding grudges, by having the same arguments over and over again. I don't got so much time here. Let's look at forgiveness in a financial standpoint. Forgiveness in a financial standpoint goes a little like this. I loan you $50,000. You goofed it up. You owe me $50,000. You don't know how to pay. You can't pay. So I decide to forgive you of that loan. Now, how are you going to look at me if I forgive your loan of $50,000? One or two ways. I got over on them, or you'll be appreciative and gracious. And you will in turn do that with someone else in the future. Or if somebody looks out for you, somebody does something for you to a great capacity to where you can't pay them back. You would love to, but you can't. Mature individuals, godlike individuals, they'll say things like this. Don't worry about it. Just make sure when somebody else is in a situation like that, you're able to intervene on their behalf. Grant them the same grace I granted you. That'll be my payback. Because when someone helps you to that degree, they believe in you. They believe in you. And they believe you got something they have. They believe that there's something in you that's in them. That's why they helped you in the first place. And they want to build upon that. They want to plant a seed toward that. So don't take stuff like that light. And that's the problem a lot of people do. They overstay their welcome. They over milk people. They over drain people's kindness. And they burn their bridges like that. I try not to go to one person too much for assistance. I try to keep my stuff spread out. I don't like to ask for help, but when I do ask for help, I'm like a little here, a little there. I'm not about to go to one individual because I know they can help me and try to milk the mess out of them. That ain't right. That's called abuse. Abuse of a relationship. You lose relationships like that. You ain't paid due for the last situation. Now you coming back to them for the people don't understand. That's why you got to build this. You can understand what it's for. We're not put on this earth to be welfare recipients. We're not put on this earth to be state babies. We're not put on this earth to just try to milk everything out of everything. We're not put here for that. We're put here to build ourselves, give, and develop people like us. Take help to give help. And develop those that'll do the same thing. Multiply ourselves. So if you're going to multiply yourself, what kind of self are you going to multiply? Forgiveness is to give the person that did the wrong another chance to make it right. Might not be necessarily with the person that they wronged, but just give them another chance to make it right in their life. Because the reason that they hurt you, or the reason that I don't really feel like somebody can hurt you. I believe people can share their hurt with you. And you have an opportunity to deny the hurt or to carry the hurt, accept the hurt, and take it with you. So it's like a game of hot potato. So people don't necessarily hurt you because nobody can hurt you. Even though you've been hurt, nobody can hurt you. You know why? Because you have the authority to direct that hurt in whatever direction you want to direct it to. Once it's been shared with you, you can either deny it, you can take it, give it off to someone else, or you can destroy it with forgiveness. That's the purpose of forgiveness. It kills grudges. It kills grudges. It kills the stress of the hurt. And it can stay long term if you let it fester in you. And then at some point it'll become a part of you. That's what you don't want. How do you learn to forgive? You learn to forgive from the originator of forgiveness. You learn to forgive with self-awareness that you haven't always been right. You haven't always done right. Someone had to forgive you. And the ultimate person that you need to require forgiveness from is God. He has no problem forgiving you for anything you've done. I had a friend, powerful man of faith. He helped me a lot in my faith walk. He called me not too long ago, stressed out, wanting to pray because he felt like God has not forgiven him. He felt like his sins, his inside sins, were so great. And he started going into a depression because he felt like he was getting vibes and energy like God is not going to forgive me, and he has not forgiven me. To the point where he was telling me scriptures to support the fact that God didn't forgive him. And I'm sitting there like, what? Hold on now. You're using the wrong scriptures. Then these scriptures that have been suggested in your mind, they're sent from the enemy. Because you do know the enemy, the devourer, the deceiver, he can use scriptures against you as well. He tried to do it against Jesus. But Jesus was up on game. You can take scriptures from the word and try to enslave someone with it. And you can also take scriptures from the word and liberate people. He was choosing the first. But he was choosing that because those were some of the tormenting thoughts that were going across his head. And like I said before, your mind is not you. Your mind is not you. Your mind was created for you to direct. The spirit is you. Your mind was created for you to direct, for you to contemplate, for you to devise ways to get things done, to brainstorm, all those things. But every idea that pops up in your mind is not law. We have conflicting views that always pop up in all of our minds. But that's why you have to get a relationship with the Lord deep down in your spirit and His Word in context. So you could be able to fight back when the war tries to show up, because the war is always going to be here. And if you're not prepared, if you're not equipped, you will be deceived. You will be deceived. So the temptation of failing, the temptation of doing something stupid, the temptation of not receiving forgiveness that God has already provided, if you ask, that temptation will show up, especially in times like this. You don't know your ends from your outs. But that's why it's important. Just like you wash your car, just like you pump gas in the car, as consistently as you do things like that, you gotta feed this. You gotta feed this. You gotta feed this. And what's in here is going to dictate your actions. A lot of people that call themselves men and women of faith, a lot of them stumble for one reason. They forget who they are. They forget who they are. They've accepted an idea of what someone else believes they are, as opposed to what He told you you were. You entertain another idea, and you forgot who you are. Because like I said before, whatever you believe, and whoever you believe you are, that's who you are. You make a lie the truth in your mind if you entertain a lie long enough. So I almost had to, encourage that brother and remind him of who you are. This stuff is not select few things. This applies to all of us. If God is talking to you and telling you who you are, He's not going to turn around and tell somebody else that they're nothing. He's not going to tell me that I am great, I am powerful, I am His child, and turn around and tell you something different. He desires that all of us come back to Him. All of us rebuild a relationship with Him. All of us. Only person getting in the way is this right here. What goes on up here? What do you let dominate up here? So I had to remind that brother of who he was. Because he'd been entertaining some foreign thoughts. But the more important thing about it is, I can tell you who you are if you want to, but you gotta believe it yourself. If you don't believe it, I can tell you anything, and you'd be like, oh, okay, cool, I feel good, I feel better. But then in the midnight hour, when you get by yourself, the feelings come again, you might respond or react a different way. That's why we have to feed our minds and our hearts the things that we want. Until it becomes so much a part of us it'll start automation. It'll start automating itself. I don't want anybody under the sound of my voice to get anything confused. We have an enemy. We have an enemy. If we didn't have an enemy, wouldn't nobody struggle? And the enemy doesn't want nothing more but to get us all off course, off purpose, or off focus. He wants you to focus on things that don't matter so that you won't focus on the main thing that does matter. So in essence, forgiveness is almost like a shield. It shields you from contamination of someone trying to share their hurt with us. But if we don't know that going in, we'll get caught up in the hurt, get tied up and nestled in the hurt for event. And we'll get sucked in like quicksand. Don't know how we got there. Now we depressed. Now we jacked up. And the person that hurt you, they ain't gone about their business. Oh, mission accomplished. All right, go. But watch this. If you notice, what did the person that hurt you try to do? They try to contaminate you like a virus. What does forgiveness do? It shields your heart from staying contaminated. When you make the choice to forgive, you have leveled up your spirit just like that. And yes, the hurt feeling might remain a little longer after the forgiveness has taken place. Forgiveness is a process. And another thing that I think a lot of us do not do, we overlook the fact of one of the main people we never forgive is ourselves. You gotta get in the habit of forgiving yourself. Because sometimes a lot of the harboring that we carry probably doesn't have to do with someone else. A lot of us carry guilt, especially when we want to do right. We start trying to do the right thing and living righteously and living in a direction of upward. We have problems flushing our mind out of all those bad things that we did do. Not everybody, this don't apply to everybody, but a lot of people it does. We haven't forgiven who we were, and we're striving to be who we want to be. A tidbit of advice: don't live your life trying not to do wrong, because that perspective is going to start you in a hole and try to climb out. Get it in your mind that you are better, you are greater, because you're going to live who you think you are. You're going to live out who you think you are, number one. So if you think you're in the hole trying to climb out, you're going to practice that mentality. We need to learn to live from our goals backwards. And how are we going to do that if we're walking in unforgiveness to others and for ourselves? Now you got extra stuff in your mind that you're fighting against. You go to one of my videos before this, it's called Be That Light. Be that light. Don't try to be that light. Be it. Live it. So that means you have to make what you want to be bigger than where you are. That's your job. How do you do that? Practice, meditation, new information. Same way you got to where you are now, that's how you going to get out. You can't stop one habit. You replace it. You replace it with another. A lot of people try to stop bad habits. I'm gonna stop doing this. I'm gonna stop doing that. I'm gonna stop doing. All right, yeah, but you dedicated a lot of time, a lot of mental mechanics developing that habit. What are you gonna do? You're just gonna be just out here just nothing to do. No, you're going to replace it. Are you either gonna replace it with itself or you're gonna replace it with something else? So you, in essence, gotta smoke out the bad. Same thing works with the mind. We need to forgive ourselves daily. And watch this, when you forgive yourself, can't nobody bring nothing up to you. They can't bring it past up to you, because one thing about it, your enemy, your past is all he has on you. All he has on you. He can't use anything against you but your past. The enemy's number one goal is to get your past to repeat itself, if it's negative. Get you to live in a time warp. And there's so many people that live in this time warp. It's almost worse than being addicted to drugs. When you're just running in place, a straight hamster wheel. You moving, you running, but you're not going any place. That's not the type of life you want to live. So we not only need to forgive ourselves, we need to forgive others. And we need to receive the forgiveness that comes from above. The retaliation and then get back and all that stuff doesn't solve anything. All it does is deputize you to continue the devil's work. They share the hurt, and then they tell you, hey, share it. Go share it. Go share it. Share it with someone else. Now you're not even operating with the God moves, you operating with the enemy's moves. He pretty much tagged you're it. He just tagged you and said you're it. Now go tag somebody else. What I am saying is, when God says forgive, that's his tag you're it system. Multiply his attributes in your life. Don't multiply the hurt, pain, deceit, and all that stuff. Don't multiply that. Notice how the enemy, he always tries to corrupt everything God is about. So the system in which he's getting the word out, he's getting all that stuff out, it's the same system. Tag your it. But what is the it? Tag your hurt or tag your forgiven? You see what I'm saying? See the difference? Only a person that walks in forgiveness understands what's going on when it comes to that situation. They're not just emotionally flustered, stressed out, vengeful, and wants to get everybody back for what they did to them. Because think about it, before you were hurt, or before you accepted the hurt, you weren't trying to get nobody back because you weren't wronged, right? But when the hurt came and contaminated you, now all of a sudden, you see what I'm saying? Think about it like this. The person that hurt you went through the same thing. Because hurt people hurt people. Tag, you're it. So are you going to stop the cycle? Or are you going to continue the cycle? Or look at it like this. Are you going to change the cycle? Start a new cycle. It's all up to you. My job here is just to give you the options and let you know what's going on. Because a lot of people get caught up in a lot of goofy stuff. Go to jail, all kind of stuff, because they don't know what was going on. They don't know what was going on. They was just reacting. They fell for the trap. They fell for the trap. Because they didn't know they had an enemy. Because they thought that their mind was them. You know? They miscalculated. Which we all do. Some miscalculations are greater than others and more costly than others. But I thank God for grace, because that buys us time to get it right. That buys us time to get it right. I would definitely encourage you to share this video with as many people as possible. And we will revisit this. Because once you find out what's going on in any given system, it puts you ahead of the game. And the system of unforgiveness is plagued us all. But when you get into practice of doing things the God factor way, the God type of way, you will have a more understanding and free spirit and uncontaminated spirit, and you'll be able to help more people. And let's not act like that this is just a type of thing. Forgiveness is a process. It's not just like that. The decision is like that, but it's a process. So don't think for a second that I am insensitive to all the hurts and pains that you guys have gone through. I have my fair share as well. And it's not always comfortable. But the truth is, there's a lot of things and a lot of habits and a lot of ways that are comfortable to us that we need to get uncomfortable with, because it's killing you. And you don't even know it. It's killing you. So I'm just thankful and grateful that I can shed some light on the topic of forgiveness, because I walk in forgiveness every day of my life. I have to. Unforgiveness is a disease. It's a disease. And it's a sneaky one. It sneaks in. This is what harboring unforgiveness is like. A big mouse or a rat or something like that making its way into your house. And when it gets in your house, you so busy trying to protect the house from further infestation, you never get rid of the rat. You never get rid of the vermin that got in. You just realize it got in. Like, oh man, Now you want to protect yourself from it ever happening again, but you never got rid of the thing, the one that got in. That's what unforgiveness is like. Harboring unforgiveness and pains and hurts. You want to protect yourself from future pain, but you still got the pain that you started with. You never dealt with this. And guess what? That pain grows. It doesn't just fade away. It's there. And it grows with you. So you let years fester, you let months go by, it grows. Today it's time to free yourself. And as a matter of fact, we're going to do our first exercise as it relates to forgiveness. By receiving forgiveness today. Like everybody that can and will, I want to pray with you. Because this is a serious subject. I want everybody to understand that God, the true and living God, whether you know him or not, he desires to forgive you for everything that you have done. Whether you knew it or didn't know it. He wants to free you. He wants to live in you. He wants to build you. He wants you to be great. And he wants a relationship with you, personally. So I ask everybody on the side of my voice to pray with me right now and repeat these words. Lord Jesus, I am a sinner. I have not made all the best decisions in my life, but I want to be better and I want to be greater. Come into my life. Heal my heart. I dedicate my life to you today. I want you to live through me and show me how to live. I believe that you are who you say you are. And I believe that because you are who you say you are, that you can help me. Guide me to the people that I need to be guided to. Give me the resources that I need. But most of all, Lord, forgive me for my sins. I ask you these things and I receive these things. In Jesus' name, amen. You repeated those words and believe them in your heart. I strongly believe, and I will tell you with every fiber in my being that you are saved and you are forgiven. And I would encourage you to get around more people that believe in that direction. I implore you to get in your word. Just start reading through it. Read it until you find yourself in it. And get around more believers that can grow with you, believe with you, dominate with you, be great with you. Don't live your life to try to not do wrong. Live your life to be the greatest version of yourself you can possibly be. And if you're going to do that, you're going to need God's help. I thank you guys for watching this channel. I thank you guys for walking with me. As I said, none of this is scripted. I thank you guys for vibing with me. I would like you guys to like and subscribe the video, like and subscribe the channel. Go to my RIMEMUSIC page. Got some music coming to that very soon. But this is going to conclude this first series of my channel. I just feel a real heaviness in my spirit right now because this is a very touchy subject. It's a very important subject that we all need to grasp. This is a very special day for me. God just reunited me with a very special family member of mine. Today. And all was forgiven. It was like it never happened. And I've experienced God on a deeper level today. And I am super thankful because that showed me how real God is. He is real. And that's why I said forgiveness is a process. It doesn't happen overnight, but the decision happens to forgive now. The decision to receive forgiveness happens now. Just like the decision to reconnect with God, it happens now. And like any decision you make, any goal you make, it will be challenged. That's why it's so important to continue to feed the things that you want. And the things you do not want will fade and die. Just like when you eat food every day, you spend more time eating food, less time starving yourself. Once again, I appreciate you guys. You guys caught me, caught me in one of those times. Life doesn't necessarily have to be easy, but when you want to live God's way of doing things, His type of life, things will be simple. It's simple. It ain't always easy. But once you practice your relationship with the Lord and your relationship with others and your relationship with yourself, once you practice that, it becomes a whole lot simpler. This is R.I.M.E Live in HD. I will definitely holler at you when I have another series beginning to start. And like I said, we're not taking no breaks. So get ready for it. But this is vlog number 10. Forgiveness. one of the most powerful vlogs of them all. I think it'll be the longest one too. But I thank God for patient people that patiently hear me out and hear what I have to say and share. Just because people share hurt with you or attempt to share hurt with you, you do not have to accept it or receive it. Forgive. Because God gave you the power to forgive. Because we're made in His image, not the images that they try to convince you of. So, go ahead and holler at y'all later. Y'all be blessed. Peace.